Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about you and your light and how necessary that light is. Here on our planet with 7.5 billion people, there is more suffering than ever before. And you are necessary, you are needed, you are essential. And I believe you might be here for the same reason that I make these videos, because you feel a sense of compassion that is indescribable, that it's ingrained in you. Ever since you were little, maybe like me, I've had these things, I can't really describe it. It's like a wave of emotion that happens if I had something nice. Like when I was little, if I had like a really good popsicle or something, I felt a sadness that everybody didn't have that. If I'm ill to this day, if I'm sick and I'm laying in bed, I'm like, what would it be like if I didn't have healthcare or a comfortable bed to lie in or a roof over my head and food in the kitchen? What is that like? There are people on this planet that feel the same pain and they don't have that. Why not? Do you have that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, I don't know. My husband says it's human nature. It's human nature to not be like that. It's to preserve self and to glorify self. When we go off to these castles, we live in England, there are a lot of castles around, and you can study the monarchies in history, and you see supreme greatness for one individual, and then you see so many millions of people having nothing. And he says, why are you upset by that? That's human nature. That's how everybody would be if they had the chance. And I'm thinking, Versailles? I'm thinking, wouldn't your bucket fill up? And you'd be tired of having so much? And wouldn't you want to give that to others? Wouldn't you want to share what you have with others? And he looks at me like I'm crazy. And maybe I am. Maybe I am. Because we all are crazy. We're all on the scale somewhere. Somebody thinks you're crazy, and you think other people are crazy. But where is the unit of measure? We don't know. But my son says, Mom, what is it? We just work until we die. I say, is that really what people are looking at? Is that how people are living their lives? Don't you feel this responsibility to maybe ease the unnecessary suffering of humanity? Do you feel that? My father says, of these 7.5 billion people on Earth, half are good, half are bad. It just is the way that it is. And then you find out people that you thought were great all have secrets. They all have secrets and they're dark. And often they are of the lower five senses. They are of the carnal. They're pedophilia, or there's something lurking behind this spiritual facade. So, in my life, I started to find out how I could do something about this. And it flourished in codependence for a while. But then I grew and started to discover things for myself. I went into study my own religion, Catholicism, and that wasn't for me. Then I went into the New Age movement, and I looked around and I thought, oh, that's good. I like that. But why is that person sitting up so high? This person that's regurgitating these ancient wisdoms has got their name signed to them. And that to me was concerning. And so when I found the teachings of Theosophy, which when lots of people hear that, they say, oh yeah, Helena Blavatsky. And I go, no, it's not just Helena Blavatsky. She was a scribe who wrote down some of the most important texts of the last 2,000 years. But this is not a worship thing for Helena Blavatsky. Some Theosophists do that. Some Theosophists worship themselves and their own academic study. So I can't speak for all Theosophists. I can only speak for myself. In The Voice of the Silence, which is a very short and very powerful theosophical classic text, it is supreme, and there is a link to a free copy down below. I highly suggest taking these to heart, studying them, listening to them, and applying them, because they have changed my life. In The Voice of the Silence, it says, to live to benefit mankind is the first step. It also says, can there be bliss when all that lives must suffer? Shalt thou be saved and enter into nirvana while the whole world cries in pain? Now that is a very powerful sentence. How can you live for 70 years, 70 to 100 years if you're lucky? And because of whatever you did, because you did some ceremonies or a ritual or sacraments, then therefore you are spared and off to eternal bliss. While there is anyone here on this planet that is suffering, any being, not just humans, but animals, there is incalculable suffering on our planet. And we are responsible to ease that suffering. We are responsible to ease the unnecessary suffering in humanity. That is what we are here for. It is mind-boggling when I see, I don't know, maybe it could just be me, but maybe it's you too. When I see people thinking about wanting to escape future births so they can have eternal bliss, but what about the rest of everybody? Are we not all connected? If you could Google Earth, and you can, you'll see one round ball, no lines. It's all the same thing, okay? You are of Earth, and that Earth is of an ever-expanding universe. So you are not connected. Of course you're connected. And to study this connection, which is science, right? You think it's science. Is it religion? Is it philosophy? Do you think who you are, why you are, where you are, what you are? All right, so if you're looking at tying all these things together, wherever there's more than one person, wherever there's more than one, there will always be somebody who's trumping the other. Sorry, I used the T word. There will always be somebody that's going to trump the other. So you stay within. This is an inside job. That divine spark is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So if you can apply these teachings and become these teachings, like the quote that's attributed to Gandhi, but is an ancient truth, if you wish to see the change in the world, be the change in the world. You will directly affect all those in your life. And you cannot control anyone or anything. No one. You can only control your actions, reactions, and sometimes your environment. So, therefore, this is an inside job. And when we were told that the divine spark is within, to look within, we always hear that. But then there are people outside that are taking your cash and your money, and they're fighting over who's right and who's wrong, and drama. If you get to a theosophical study place and you find that there is someone that is talking about their achievements, their writings, their groups, and if you see ego behind that, then you need to run. You need to move away from that. If you can, this is my own opinion. Stay away from that. I did see online somebody saying we need to make the Theosophical Society great again. I disagree. I'm sorry. We need to make the teachings of Theosophy well known again. And we need to take that out without ego, without cash, without some kind of inner group, or inner sanctuary of great people. We need to apply it to our daily lives. And stop, please stop worshiping Helena Blavatsky. Please. She wrote down these texts. These texts are also ancient wisdoms that can be traced all the way back to the beginning of time, and then some, going all the way back to ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, ancient Africa, going through Jacob Boehme, Pythagoras, and Plato, Paracelsus. So it's not about worshiping Blavatsky. A lot of people do say that. They go, oh, yeah, she wrote them down. She was a scribe. She was a deserving scribe. But Theosophy will teach you about the lower self, the personality, and how not important that is, and the unity of the one self that is within all of us. So do we need to make the Theosophical Society great again? No. Do we need to bring in the teachings of Theosophy into the world and apply them to ourselves? I believe that is a yes. Yogi Theosophy, that just means I'm a student of Theosophy. This is not a different branch of Theosophy. I study a few things and I share them with you on my own time because I love you, because I love humanity, because I feel that crushing compassion. So I wanted to pop on today so we could talk about hope for humanity. Because if you have this compassion, you are so needed. You are so valuable. You are so necessary, and you are so loved. Thank you for letting me share today. Please access these teachings, apply them, and become them, and be careful about your environment and the hierarchy. And what is it that my husband calls it? It's just human nature. It doesn't have to be. I love you.